Well, with the senior road tax title already decided, so firstly we have to congratulate Devian Rust in the 3:45 that has taken the title. But here is your 34-strong grid for the last race of the season. Sebastian Koch and Felipe Falk will line up on the front row of the grid. Head of Jori Schoens, Taze Stevens, Flynn Fitters, Ruben Verheyen, Badine Blankenberg, Scott Westhovens, Benjamin Van Hees, Kaz Boshouse, Ruben Lichtenstein, Jur Balkenars, Prins Spapen, and Siem van Vliet rounding out the top 15. After that, Steen Peters, Sven Slagmolen, Mick van den Hout, Kimi Schleich, and Rein van der Meer round out the top 20. Devian Rust, Reimer van Beek, Glenn Druers, Luca de Moitru, and Mitch Hainert round out the top 25, completing the top 30 are Louis Le Rigoleur, Thomas Verheyen, Gabriel Svitala, Philip Wisniewski, and Krik Kroren. Completing the 34-strong grid will be Jay Zurveld, Sam Bergstein, Mike van Maastricht, and Martin Herrera. Interesting, because I would imagine that after the pre-final, so Martin Herrera, well, did finish in around about what would have been 8th position, was found to be classed underweight post the pre-final, and thereby was put down to last position as a direct correlation. It's never easy when that kind of thing happens to a driver, when they've done so well and then go on the weighbridge and then boom, you're underweight, back of the field you go. So at this point, these drivers, there is nothing to gain in this race apart from one thing, and that is, above all, pride. To go in to the winter with a smile on your face. So, red lights ignite on the gantry ahead of our last senior road tax race of the 2025 Chrono Karting Dutch Championship season. Into the tram lines, revs rise, lights go out first time of asking. And straight away, Sebastian Koch leads the field on the Sodi Kart chassis as they head into turn number 1. And a lot of the drivers using the runoff areas, some of them flirting very, very dangerously with the grass on the left-hand side of the runoff area. But everyone so far has made it through, just about. Couple of stragglers at the rear of the field, but Sebastian Koch in that Sodi Kart absolutely launched it. Meantime, oh, there's a couple of drivers that are going to be running wide going through into turn 6, and there's been a pile-up that's correspondingly accordingly happened. Oh dear, 3 on top of another, 1 on top of another. Devian Rust is at the top of that. It's like the Leaning Tower of karts. Forget the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Yeah, 3 of them. One of which, Siem van Vliet. And the third kart sandwiched in the middle is Steen Peters. And look at the front bumper on Devian Rust's kart, as well as the Nassau panel. That's not exactly how it should be on an OTK, but Steen Peters was the worst off. It was crumpled in so many different ways. It was like someone had made front bumper origami out of it. But still, the battles do continue onwards. There's Taze Stevens. Oh, and I think that was Felipe Falk trying to get through on Kaz Boshouse, through at turn 6. But that, yeah, the Leaning Tower of Genk, I'm going to nickname that now. But that's not a nice thing to see, especially when the person in the middle is sandwiched in between the 2 karts, one underneath, one above. But Sebastian Koch leads after the opening 2 laps of this race, and the temperature has started to drop cloud cover now 75%. Obviously earlier on today we did have a lot of blue sky, a lot of sunshine, and then we had the almighty mother of downpours when it was bright and sunny here at the circuit. And then, well, there we go, two drivers, Siem Van Vliet and Stain Peters, out of the race, sitting at the local marshal post as their residency for the next probably about 12.5 minutes plus the recovery. Julian Klausmann, however, is closing the gap to second place driver Ruben Verheyen. And Verheyen just said to Klausmann, no, don't fight me, work with me. Klausmann straight away, by the way that kart was moving behind, that said otherwise to me, which means that Klausmann will want to get past Ruben Verheyen, and he's like, come on, man, stop it. Let's go after the race leader. Now, bearing in mind, Julian Klausmann has just put in the fastest lap of the race, so 55.879. So the SR Solutions driver, very, very much knowing that he has got that opportunity of getting through, but at the moment, well, with the way things are going, they are catching Sebastian Koch on the Sodi kart. And Sebastian Koch is now being hounded by the two that have chased him down. And leading that is Ruben Verheyen. It's not going to be an easy one for Sebastian Koch to have to deal with. They said that it's never easy. It's never easy at all. That is why we now have a change for the race lead. So Julian Klausmann taking full advantage of that. And making sure that he is going to stay at that, stay ahead. That's quite crucial at this particular point. So what you don't want to have happen is someone to get the upper hand, and that's exactly what he's got. So we have 4 retirees at this point in the race, and that includes Jur Valkenhaus, Raymond van Beek, and of course on the opening lap, Siem Van Vliet and Stain Peters. As Sebastian Koch now tries to get through on Ruben Verheyen, the number 348 for the NL Trommelke team. And there has been a... Oh, Crit Cloran's just been hit with another penalty. It's not going well for Crit at the minute, I'm afraid. And that is now the case of... effectively a unsportsmanlike driving penalty, and that is, as we know, that is a 3-second time penalty going the way of that particular individual. It's not going to stop some drivers moving up the order. And there are a few that are trying to attempt to do so at this late stage. And I'm just keeping an eye outside of the commentary box window Now we are over the halfway point of this race, but those clouds spell one word: danger. That's all I'm saying on that one. And now it's 3 wide. Sebastian Koch back up the inside, gets through, retakes the race lead. And Ruben Verheyen staying with, so is Julian Klausmann. This battle is not over by a damn long sight. 3 drivers, very, very much equally matched. And it's not a case of if, it is a case of when does someone pull the trigger and react first. It's like putting down your cards on the blackjack table and showing your hand, but they don't want to do that too early. Now, whilst this is happening, Scott Westhovens is up to 4th place as Ruben Verheyen gets through on Sebastian Koch at turn 1. Scott Westhovens now up into P4, started 9th. Now, get this. Krit Knorren might have a 3-second time penalty post-race, but he's made up 18 positions. Started 30th. Now 12th. Sam Bergstein, eliminated early in the pre-final. Started 32nd. Now is 3 places away from the top 15, from the top 10. Jay Zurveld down in 17th, started 31st, has the fastest lap of the race. So as I said, there are many twists, there are many turns in this tale of this, what has been a tower-filled, topsy-turvy adventure for these drivers. Sebastian Koch trying to see if he can get through on Ruben Verheyen, but Klausmann went right. That's my opening. Gets through and takes 2nd away from the German for Dams Racing. However, we are still just under just under 2 3/4 minutes to go until we hit the last couple of laps. And as I say that, Julian Klausmann and Sebastian Koch both within the same corner. You don't see it very often here at Karting Genk. They both got through for the race lead, and Klausmann dive bombs on Koch. Verheyen gets the buy one, get one free special out of turn number 5. Oh, we've got a bare-knuckle boxing match rather than a karting side of thing, karting exhibition, if you will. It's not an exhibition. They're battling for the race win. Now Koch is going to look for the move up the inside at turn 10. Gets through on Klausmann. That's P2 for the Dams Racing driver from Germany. But now, whilst that has happened, Ruben Verheyen is trying to clock out and get away. I would say we've got 4 more laps to go, including this one, so we could be 16 laps in total. And Ruben Verheyen for the NR Trommelke team leads the way, and look at that menacing dark cloud over turn 6. Oh, that's very dark and gruesome, I'm afraid. But Sebastian Koch, oh, here's a little dark horse that I haven't seen at the front end of a field for a while. Ah, good afternoon, Jori Schoens. Benjamin Van Hees is now up into 5th, and he's at the back of the train. Flynn Fitters closing in on Scott Westhovens and has now got the undercut through at turn 13. And now, is there going to be a change for the lead? Oh, Sebastian Koch goes through. Ruben Verheyen had to go wide on the runoff area to try and avoid anything from happening. And now Yuri Schoens, oh, it's 3 wide coming out of turn 5. And here comes Yuri Schoens at breakneck speed. Julian Klossman to the inside. And Ruben Verheyen retakes the lead. Schoens up into P3. Gets through on Sebastian Koch. And there is Benjamin Van Hees. This has been absolutely brilliant what we've seen. This is why when I get excited to, oh, slippery surface flags, because the rain is back, folks. It is just, the heavens have just started to open, and Yuri Schoens going through at on the approach into turn 1, he gets through. So Ruben Lichtenstein has just been given a 10-second time penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. That is going to drop that driver a heck of a long way back to around about 23rd position, which is currently being occupied by Martin Herrera. So we've got this and one more lap to go on these D5s. These drivers have to be very, very careful now because the rain is back. And obviously this is going to change the circumstances for the last couple of races. We've got DD2 and Masters, KZ2 Masters, and also KZ2. But coming out of the final corner, one more lap of the season. Ruben Verheyen leads. Yuri Schoens in second. Koch in third. Fourth is Klossman. Fifth is Van Hees. Flynn Fitters now with him, may even be passed. Not quite yet, as the rain continues to fall, not in the significant intensity that we had earlier on in the Minimax final. Actually, scrap that, the Micromax final. So we've been pretty much scot-free. The rain is starting to slightly dissipate in terms of intensity. And now also, this could be a grandstand finale for the senior Rotax season here at Chrono Karting for 2025. But is it going to be that someone's going to hang on? Ruben Verheyen wins the final race of the season. Wow! Ruben Verheyen for NR Trommelke. Proficiat, that was a great run. Started on the inside of row number 4 and takes the win. Julian Klossman absolutely kicking himself, knowing that he could have won this. But Ruben Verheyen, that was a mega job, and wins by just over 0.3 of a second. Yuri Schoens P2, Sebastian Koch P3, Julian Klossman 4th, ahead of Benjamin Van Hees, Flynn Fitters 6th, Krit Knoren from 30th to 7th in that race. Impressive drive, young sir. Felipe Falk, Bodine Blankenberg and Scott Westhovens round out your top 10. Kaz Boshouse, Ruben Lichtenstein rounds out 12th. Sam Bergstein from 32nd to 13th. Thomas Verheyen from 27th to 14th. Jay Zurveld from 31st to 15th at the end of that race. Tay Stevens, Mitch Haynett, Gabriel Svitala, Mick van den Hout and Mike van Maastricht round out your top 20. Philip Wisniewski, Luca Dumoitru, Rein van der Meer, Sven Slagmolen, Martin Herrera, Lendreurs, Louis Le Rigoleur, Kimi Schleich, Devian Rost and Brent Spapen round out the 30 finishers. Jurval Canals, Lema van Beek, Siem van Vliet and Steen Peters round out the unfortunate non-finishers in that one. Ruben Verheyen wins the final race of the season, but there is your 2025 Chrono Karting Senior Rotax Champion, Devian Rost, as very shortly he will take to the track for his ceremonial lap of honour.